Welcome to another episode of Inside Military Esports presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Today we're coming to you from Cardinal Gaming, a premier center for gamers and geek culture here in Louisville, Kentucky. IME is the show where we get to know military members and veterans who are involved in the esports community. We'll get to know industry insiders, streamers, organizations, and more who are doing good in the world of esports. I'm Jami Kinton. Join my co-host Jeremy Smith and me as we go inside military esports. On this episode, we'll meet a Navy veteran who builds and donates custom PCs for veterans in need of a creative outlet. The Navy Federal Credit Union Spotlight shines on a gamer who found his passion after being medically discharged. I'll sit down with a father and son whose business brings the gaming party on the road. And Jeremy talks to one of the founders of Red Platoon Gaming. For our first story, let's check in with my co-host, Jeremy Smith.
We traveled to North Dakota to meet Travis Peacock, known online as Shellback Tech, to talk with him about building custom PCs for fellow veterans 100% free of charge.
My name is Travis Peacock, and I run #DisabledVeteranBuild, where I build custom charity PCs for disabled veterans. They're gaming, streaming PCs, and we donate them free of charge. My time in the military was actually really interesting. I joined at 17. I turned 18 in boot camp, Great Lakes, Illinois. I ended up getting stationed over in Sasebo, Japan. After that, I ended up getting transitioned over to an IA billet, and so they stationed me in Iraq with 306 MP. We were in charge of the prison over there. After that, I ended up getting injured. I messed up my knees, messed up my back over there. They sent me to Fargo, North Dakota Reserve Center, and I haven't left. Had some kids, stayed, and that's my time. It really is. It was unique. What got me started into building PCs was actually just my love for technology. I wanted to build something for myself initially, and I wanted to create a YouTube channel where I reviewed technology. That ended up transitioning into something for somebody else. One of the people that I served with over in Iraq, I ended up creating a one-of-a-kind build specifically for her, and we did it free of charge. And so now she's actually able to stream on her own and have a creative outlet. Now I'm building roughly 2 a month for disabled veterans in need, and we create one-of-a-kind gaming and streaming rigs for them through the help of a few different companies that have helped us along the way. AMD being one of them. They ended up giving us our initial contributions for processors. OCPC USA, they donated a bunch of RAM when we were first getting started. I was able to review it and things like that, but these companies are now jumping on board to where we're able to provide a lot more to many more people. Personalizing a PC for someone is usually one of the more difficult tasks I have, by asking them what kind of movies they like, by asking things like their music preferences, their color preferences, animes that they watch maybe, video games that they play on a regular basis. These things tell me a lot about a person. The way I know I got it right is when you see a person's eyes light up. The minute that they look at their computer tower and they're at a loss for words, and that gives me so much joy that I want to keep doing it. It's one of those things that it fills me up to the brim with happiness. My hope for the future is that we can create 2 a month, every single month, for every year to get these out to disabled veterans in need, to reach more and more people and give them that creative outlet that they so desperately need, to tell them that they are not their disability. They are more than just that diagnosis that they've been given, and that they do still have more to offer society, whether it be gaming, streaming, content creation, whatever strikes their fancy. Local guy, his name is Jason. We met when I was in treatment in the VA. I went in for mental health and he was a part of my group, but I built him a computer, and as a thank you, he built me this bench. I couldn't believe it. Now I use it every single day. The build that we have currently going on over here, this is our Pride build. The person that is receiving this one, she's in the process of opening a homeless shelter for veterans and their family members down in Missouri. And so I wanted to help her along and show her that her pride is out there for the world to see, and thus the theme behind it. The way that I was prepared for what I'm doing right now by my time in the military is my all or nothing mindset. Either go 100% or don't do it at all. And by doing that, I'm able to give myself completely to each build. Honestly, the whole reason I wanted to do this was to help other veterans, to give them that outlet that I so desperately craved for a long time. Through streaming and gaming, I was able to get a form of therapy that I didn't know I needed. And by giving that to other disabled veterans, I'm actually helping them and helping myself at the same time.
Well, Travis, thanks for letting us come out and see where you work, how you work, and the people that you help.
Absolutely. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we can get some more awareness out there for what we're doing.
We'll be back with more Inside Military Esports presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 85 years. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
My co-host Jeremy Smith recently sat down with a military veteran who said that gaming and Nerf Blasters saved his life. It's time for this week's Navy Federal Credit Union Spotlight.
Joining us here on Inside Military Esports is Mack. Mack, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your military background?
So in 2007, I joined the United States Army Infantry. But shortly after basic training, I was stationed at 3-4 Cav in Hawaii as one of their reconnaissance and surveillance specialists there, and then was deployed to Iraq between 2008 and 2009. Where I served as an infantryman there and came back and was restationed in Fort Lewis, Washington, where I found out I'd had some medical issues and was shortly thereafter discharged.
Were you a gamer while you were in the service?
I've been a gamer my entire life. My first experience with video gaming was at my aunt's house when I was 8 years old or so. And it was like an Atari 2600 or something.
So what do you do now for gaming?
So now I am pretty much focused on the one game that I credit with saving my life, and that's Borderlands 2. I have somewhere around 22,000 hours into the game on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, and PC all combined. Pretty close to hitting that 23,000 mark.
So why do you have that many hours in one game?
In 2012, I was headed to Afghanistan and I went in for an airborne physical and found out that something was wrong with my heart. It came out that I had the scar tissue of 12 heart attacks. I had about 2 weeks to prepare myself and my family for going under the knife. And when I came out of surgery, one of my soldiers at the time, he was like, "Hey, Sergeant, I got this game. We can sit and play it while we're on staff duty, and maybe you'll like it." And after dealing with actually getting medically discharged from the Army, I slipped into a deep depression and didn't want to do anything at all. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to play with my own kids. I didn't want to even exist. Ended up divorced. And so I dove into the last thing that was a part of my military career that I could still hold on to, which was playing Borderlands 2 with this soldier. And it really kept me from actually committing suicide. There were, a few instances where I kind of went down that path, but, playing Borderlands with that soldier, I would say Borderlands saved my life. Started going to therapy, which is, if you're a service member dealing with depression and dealing with anxieties or PTSD, that is by far and away the best thing that you can do. So get help if you need it. But then I found Nerf, and I was just searching around on YouTube videos. I actually had this blaster here, just sitting in my house, and I was like, I bet I can make this thing shoot a lot harder. So got on YouTube, started learning how to take them apart, and found a club, like an actual honest to goodness club that meets like once a month to play these big, huge, like paintball-esque games of tag. And I showed up for a war and was like automatically accepted. Everybody there was like, oh my gosh, you were in the military. Like, you got to have all these tactics. You know what's going on. Like, help us get better. But that loving, warm welcome from the Nerf community, from the Borderlands community on Twitch, that to me really started my healing process.
Well, Mack, thanks for joining us today and sharing your story with us and our viewers here on Inside Military Esports.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We'll see you on Pandora.
Let's take a look inside the Gamerz Truck, a portable party bus for gamers. Hey everybody, I'm here today with David Ricks III, the owner of the Gamerz Truck, which is based out of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and you are a 22-year veteran. Tell me a little bit about your experience in the military.
Well, I started in the military in 1997, dealing with finance and logistics, then I moved into recruiting the last 10 or 15 years.
In the military, a lot of the guys were gaming.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So most of the time when we gamed, it was either in the barracks or when we was deployed. So a lot of it came from us being competitive.
Yeah.
So competition breeds teamwork. So a lot of gaming inside the barracks, gaming in the sand in Iraq. So it was pretty fun.
Tell me a little bit about the skills that you were able to take that you received in the military and that kind of transferred over into you now as the business owner of this truck.
One is patience.
Yeah.
The second one is hard work. And when you combine both of those, you come out with a good product. Most small businesses go out of business within a year or two. So I'm blessed to still be in business.
And you're growing.
Yes, yes.
How many games are here on this truck?
So we have a total of 100 games. We have 7 TVs and 12 consoles.
Wow. And what's the most popular right now? What are you seeing?
The most popular is Smash Brothers.
So David, what is it about this job that makes you excited to get up every day and to come to work?
I like bringing smiles. I coach sports. I love seeing youth have fun. I love seeing them interact. When you having a party here on this game truck, you can see that kids, adults, moms, dad, grandmas, uncles are on here just having a good time. Once you get all the sounds pumping and the music going, it's almost like your mini little family club.
Yeah.
Individualized, so. Yeah.
I love that. How can people find out more? How can they rent the Gamerz Truck?
So you can find out more information if you go to the website www.gamerz.truck.com.
Nice.
And we also on social media.
David's son Trayvon is a big part of the family business. Now, why would this be a better option for somebody versus having their birthday party or having their event at an arcade or someplace like that?
Well, this is tailored to the party specifically, so we want to make sure that everybody has something to do. They can pick what they play, how long they play. If they don't want to get off, they can play one game the whole time if they want to. And the competition aspect, you know, you don't like to lose. I always say, I hate losing more than I like winning, so it gets everybody, you know, blood pumping and things like that. Because we bring the excitement to you, we have the whole experience. There's something for everybody, like I said. If you don't want to play one game, we have 99 other games you can play. If you don't want to play that, we have karaoke, laser tag, things like that too. Yes, ma'am.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, it's a party. Like you said, it's a family club.
What do you love so much about the Gamerz Truck?
Oh, I just love the games. It's just fun. Like most parties you'll get where there's parents on here and the kids playing, and just having both of them on here at the same time, they're having fun, and then also like saying, oh, they can beat me and things like that. I'm like, no, you can't. I do this all the time.
So they can play you?
Yes, they try to beat me, but sometimes it happens, but not all the time.
What's it been for you to get to experience this with your father?
It's been a really, really like enlightening experience because he has a really good business mindset, and also like he said with recruiting and things like that, he's really good at socializing and things like that. And it's helped me a lot with that because I'm really a quiet, reserved person. And
you don't seem it.
When I get out of my shell, I'm pretty fun.
Tell me what's been pretty popular among the kids and what's been popular among the adults, or are they the same?
A lot of times, like starting out with like Madden and stuff like that, but then while more games come out, like Gang Beast, it's this really obnoxious, honestly looking game, but it's like really, really amusing that it just gets people like laughing and things like that. With parents, more so like Mortal Kombat and Call of Duty and stuff like that, more mature games that they used to grow up playing and things like that.
And where would you like to see the Gamerz Truck in the future?
I'd like to see it with our personal family business. I'd like to see it in like a few other states just because it's something that we love, so we want to spread it out to everybody else so they have our same like family business principles and things like that where they're at too.
Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 85 years. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to Inside Military Esports, presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Joining us today on the show from Red Platoon Gaming is Patrick. Patrick, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about your military service?
So I came in 2005 as a 19 Delta, Fort Knox, and then after that got sent over to Fort Hood, was there for hurricane relief during Hurricane Katrina, and then just started doing the whole Fort Hood combat deployment thing and had 3 back-to-back deployments. So got out in March after 14 years active duty and now currently in the reserves. I would say the thing that had the biggest impact in me in the service was the camaraderie, was the relationship that I built with complete strangers through the things that we went through during deployments and hardships that just kind of brought us all together.
So that camaraderie with these guys has carried on past your time in the service, correct?
Yes. In fact, my partner in Red Platoon Gaming is my oldest military friend. I've known him for over 10 years. You know, I was his gunner and we just forged this relationship through a lot of hardships, and we've been very close ever since.
So forged that friendship through hardship, but also through video gaming, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I believe it was our 3rd combat deployment, and we were coming back from Iraq, and we were in Kuwait. We had this kind of unofficial, Kuwaiti Mortal Kombat 9 championship, which I ended up winning. So it was probably one of the highlights of my competitive, time in gaming. Probably what got me onto the competitive gaming scene.
What exactly is Red Platoon Gaming?
So Red Platoon Gaming, the initial idea was really just to create a community for, our friends and then people that wanted to be a part of that camaraderie that me and Nap had experienced while we were active duty. Once we were inducted into the Military Gaming League and open to an actual, league setting where we could get some teams going, we just opened up an even bigger door. We started meeting more people and the community started growing. And then I think the big thing is we just want to get as many of our players into as many tournaments as we can. You know what I mean? They came to us for the reason of wanting to play professionally. Just having the opportunity to help those guys' dreams come true is more than enough for me. When my guys are successful, like we have a stream team, for instance, and anytime that they hit one of those Twitch benchmarks, I get so proud of them. It is such a good feeling when they're like, "Power, oh man, did you hear? I got check this clip out." You know what I mean? I'm like, man, that makes me so proud.
That's fantastic. And that community sense of gaming is something that translates from the military to the gaming and kind of keeps everybody together.
Exactly. Yeah, having this, watching soldiers be successful and then watching the guys that represent you be successful also is very much the same feeling. You get a sense of pride. You get a sense of like, man, I helped that guy get there, and you don't want to take credit for it, and you don't. You just feel good about yourself, and I think that's very important for people like me and Nap.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, sharing a little bit about yourself and Red Platoon Gaming.
I appreciate it, Jeremy. It was great being here.
Thanks so much for watching Inside Military Esports presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. As always, if you have a great story to tell, make sure to contact us. We also want to thank our active duty service members and veterans for all that you do. For Jeremy Smith and the entire crew at IME, I'm Jami Kinton. We'll see you next time.